I love the lights at Christmas. Christmas lights on houses and in yards. Christmas lights twinkling on the tree. I love the different colors of light, from white twinkling lights to multicolored bubble lights. And I also love the other forms of light. Light from candles softly glowing, light from a fire burning in the fireplace or a fire pit. Light cuts through the darkness and illuminates joy, hope, and relationships. And while Christmas is a holiday filled with light, there is another day, just 4 days before Christmas, that celebrates light. Do you know what day I'm talking about? Welcome to Limitless Thoughts, a podcast series from Limitless Life Counseling where we explore questions, thoughts, ideas, and emotions. If you've missed our other episodes, you can check them out wherever you find your favorite podcasts. I would love you to become a follower and share this podcast with others, because together we can bring more light to the world. Do you know what day December 21st is? I hear some of you telling me it's Monday this year, and you would be right. Maybe others of you are thinking, it's 4 days before Christmas. That means I start thinking about shopping for gifts. Okay, valid answer. But December 21st is also the winter solstice. The winter solstice. What exactly is the winter solstice? Scientifically, the winter solstice marks when one of the Earth's poles has its maximum tilt away from the sun, resulting in the sun being at its lowest daily maximum elevation. Or in more understandable words, the winter solstice is the shortest day and longest night of the year. It's the day that feels like the sun shows up for an hour before plunging back into darkness. Winter solstice is also sometimes referred to as midwinter because it represents the midpoint of short days and long nights as the seasonal shift starts to turn us towards spring and summer. The opposite midpoint in our year is the summer solstice, where we experience the longest day and shortest night, or have a day where the sun doesn't seem to go to bed. Both solstices have a long history of being observed by different cultures with celebrations, agricultural rituals, spiritual rituals to mark the turning point in the season. No, this episode isn't going to focus on the winter solstice, although I've included a few links in the episode description if you're curious about the winter solstice. In today's episode, I want to focus on and explore how we might use the winter solstice as both an opportunity to set intentions and explore it as a metaphor for bringing more light into our world. Several years ago, I met someone who, in the course of our conversation, explained how she observed each solstice by making intentions for the next 6 months. She explained how these intentions were not goals like New Year's resolutions, but rather her intentions focused on how she wanted to connect with herself, her experiences, and her relationships. Intentions, an interesting word. A word I'm going to use a lot today. So let's define it and explore how intentions are different than resolutions. Intention is defined as a plan or attitude towards the effect of one's actions or conduct. A resolution, on the other hand, is defined as changing a behavior or setting a goal to improve one's life. Did you notice the difference between an intention and a resolution? An intention focuses on how your goal or attitude influences your actions, your behaviors, your relationships. In contrast, a resolution focuses on a goal, an end result, a checking off the box action. Maybe this will be more clear if I give an example. Let's start with a resolution. An example of a resolution is eating dinner with your partner or your family once a week at the table. Sounds like a goal that has a check the box result. Eating dinner once a week with people at a table. Check. Let's turn this resolution into an intention. An intention would be to listen and be present with your partner or your kids at the table. Did you notice how the focus of your intention wasn't simply focused on the action of eating with your partner or family, but was on the attitude or connection you want to create when you're in this dinner experience? Intentions focus on connection. Connecting to yourself, connecting to your experience, connecting to your emotions, connecting to other people. Now that we have an understanding of what an intention is, I wonder what it would be like to make a practice of setting intentions and reflecting on these intentions on winter solstice and summer solstice. You might be wondering, what's so special or magical about setting intentions on the solstice? Great question. Do you know what the word solstice means? Solstice comes from two Latin words that literally translate to the standing still of the sun. The standing still. Standing still means there isn't movement. Standing still is the opposite of a constant flow of activity. Standing still is the opposite of a constant flow of thought. Standing still is the opposite of the daily hustle of life, the opposite of the chaos of the holidays, the opposite of a mind full of worry, anger, anxiety, depression. Standing still is becoming a human being rather than a human doing. Standing still. A pause in the middle of the holiday season. A pause in the daily grind of life. A pause or stop to set or reset our focus. If you remember at the first of this podcast, I told you how much I love Christmas lights. I love Christmas lights because winter is dark. The most obvious darkness coming from less sunlight. But winter can also be dark because we may not connect with other people as much. Staying within our houses rather than leaning over the fence to talk with neighbors or getting together for barbecues or just talking with friends. Sure, we might attend holiday parties or host family dinners, but after the holidays, isn't it easy to let the winter weather, the short days, long nights, disconnect us from others? Disconnect us from our thoughts? Disconnect us from ourselves? Falling into the monotony of day-to-day life until we start thinking spring can't come soon enough. Winter is dark, which is why I enjoy Christmas lights so much. They counter the darkness. They give light on a dark street. They give light in a room. But maybe you're not a Christmas light person. Maybe you enjoy sitting around a fire pit, sitting around a bonfire. Maybe you enjoy candlelight. Whatever light you enjoy, realize that light counters and pushes back darkness. When we use light, we are able to see ourselves, see those people sitting with us. Light brings connection. Light pushing back darkness. Light countering darkness. Light and darkness. These sound like metaphors. Darkness being all those words, experiences, relationships that separate us from ourselves, separate us from others. Darkness at times can be the hustle bustle of life that prevents us from standing still. Darkness can also be destructive words, behaviors, relationships. Darkness is also loneliness and isolation. In contrast, light is all the ways we feel more connected. The words that heal, the experiences that bring joy, the relationships that foster connection, the standing still to feel more connected in life. So what does light and darkness and all of these things that I've been talking about have to do with intentions, with the winter solstice? First, I'm wondering what might change in your life if you set aside some time this winter season to be still. To be still and reflect on the past 6 months. I think for most of us, the past 6 months has brought both darkness and light. But I would challenge you in your reflection to not dwell on the darkness. Acknowledge it, and then direct your focus on the light you've experienced in the past 6 months. Even if it's just a sliver of light. Take time to be still and reflect. Second, turn your reflection towards the next 6 months and challenge yourself in setting some intentions. Some intentions that focus on bringing more light to your day-to-day living, more light to your relationships. Maybe it's setting the intention to give yourself more grace, to not speak so negatively about yourself when you make a mistake. Maybe it's setting the intention to slow down your thoughts so you can be more present in your day. Maybe it's setting the intention to reach out to that friend or family member who has different views and opinions than your own, but deciding to set your differing opinions aside so you can connect with each other. Maybe it's setting the intention to reach out to the coworker, the neighbor that you know doesn't have close family, and inviting them to share a conversation, to share a meal, to share a simple "I'm thinking of you" card or note. Tangible darkness, metaphorical darkness, separates us from light, separates us from connection, separates us from each other. Light cuts through this darkness. Light illuminates our path. It encourages hope, and light shines on those reaching out to be in connection with us. Every single Christmas since I was a child, I have attended candlelight services on Christmas Eve. Throughout the service, I hold on to the candle that was given to me at the door, waiting in anticipation for my favorite part of the service. The time at the end of the service when all the lights are turned off. And in that utter darkness, ushers begin to walk down the rows, lighting the candles of those sitting at the ends of the aisles. I purposely sit towards the back because I love to watch as each person turns to share their candle, to share their flame, to share their light with the person next to them. And slowly, the darkness of the room is pushed back. Pushed back as faces begin to softly glow in the light of those flickering candles. In this experience, there becomes a unifying feeling. A unifying feeling of stillness in the mostly silent room. A unifying feeling of connection as people begin to gaze around the room, to see their family, to see strangers as people who suddenly don't seem as unknown in this connected experience of light. And then, out of the stillness, comes the soft sound of piano keys, softly starting to play Silent Night. Those first few words, do you know them? Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright. Those words sung in that unifying glow of light, all is calm, all is bright. Words of an intention. All is calm, all is bright. An intention to bring more light into the world. An intention to connect with each other in light. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright. The world needs your light. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright. Shine your light. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright. May you find time this season to be still and know your light matters. Know you bring light to the world. Know that together we can bring light to the world. May your solstice season be blessed.